So this wire recorder comes with a magic eye which is used to determine the recording level and the sound level. But I've noticed that it's not functioning properly, and I'll just show you what I mean by that. When you turn it on and the unit warms up, after a few seconds the magic eye starts glowing and then just fades off. So clearly there's a problem with that, and so I thought I would investigate and see if I can get it to work back the way it should. So I'm going to just undo the magic eye, take it out of its position, and I'll put some test leads across the power supply. And let's just see what's happening with the voltage as we turn the unit on. Okay, turn it on and let it warm up. We can start to see the voltage rising rapidly, so it goes up fairly quickly, up to around almost 200 volts, and then rapidly drops back to around 65 volts, which is way too small amount to drive it. So clearly we have a problem there, and I suspect replacing one of the resistors will fix that problem. Let's see what happens then if we do that. Okay, and now it's time to see whether or not that has worked. And switch it back on. Well, that looks much better than it was. Clearly it's faded a little bit over the time, but it's at least now working back the way it should have been. So we'll put it back together and see it when we actually put a signal through. Okay, let's just see how it works now when we put some music through this. So I'll thread up a reel. And let's fire it up. Magic Eye is glowing nicely, that's good. So you can see it fluctuating with the volume levels. The tube itself is basically a cathode ray tube. So it works a little bit like one of the old styled cathode ray tube televisions, and as the signal gets moderated, then it opens and closes the eye accordingly. Pretty useless when it comes to a recording meter though, as you can imagine. Looks great, but not particularly functional. So in later models they replaced them with a conventional meter, which were cheaper in the end to produce. But when this model was produced, moving meters were not cheap to make, so these magic eyes were seen to be the solution. So now I'll plug in the microphone and we'll see whether or not we can get the microphone to be picked up by the level meter. Hello, this is a Webster Chicago wire recording, testing it for the first time to see whether or not the microphone and the recording seems to be working. I haven't put a wire in yet because I need to find a wire that has a blank space because I don't want to overwrite any of the original recordings. But it seems that the microphone is working and we're getting a level signal coming through, which is a good sign. And now I want to see whether or not I can actually record my voice onto this machine. I've played back all the different recordings and done some experimentation, but I haven't actually tried to record my own voice yet and see whether it works. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens. So if I flick this onto record setting, I've got a piece of wire which is unrecorded so far, so it's at the end of a spool. It's been recorded blank, so I'm not going to destroy any previous recordings. Push run. Well, I can see the meter here is showing my voice as I talk. So here we go. A test recording on a Webster Chicago wire recorder. First time in many, many years. Let's see if it works. Back on listen. Well, I can see the meter here is showing my voice as I talk. So here we go. A test recording on a Webster Chicago wire recorder. First time in many, many years. So let's see if it works. Okay, let's play it back, see what happened. Well, there you go.